I'm gonna light that. Boom. Today I want to show you something that I do with a simple Bic lighter, whether it be the full size like I have here or the mini version. I am going to show you a couple preparatory items that I do before I put one of these in any of my kits. Something you may or may have not thought about. The first thing I wanted to talk about is, you see here that you have the striker wheel on the lighter. That's what strikes the flint underneath, and then you hit that button and that opens up the gas valve and it lights. You see there's a metal shroud over the center of the striker wheel to protect the actual rough portion that hits the flint. And I think the intent there is to keep the sparks from flying out this way. But one of the problems with that is in a survival scenario, when you have your Bic lighter, if this does get wet, this piece of metal here will keep that moisture in and it won't light as well. So what I like to do is remove that metal piece on any lighter that I put in one of my kits. It's kind of clipped in there, so I'm going to take this knife here and just pop it right on out. It'll probably go flying across the room, normally does. I'll have to find it later. Oh, there it goes. So you see here, it's just been removed. And what we have here is the rough portion that hits that piece of flint underneath. Okay, so I've just removed that metal clip. Here it is. It actually didn't fly across the room, so you can see it. So now if that does get wet, the lighter will dry out quicker. A lot of times too, if it does get submerged or wet, without that in there, you can just whip it, blow it out, and it'll light for you. So that is one of the first preparatory items I do. The second thing I do is I take a piece of waxed, and this happens to be beeswax, waxed hemp for wick material for making candles. You can buy this on Amazon. This is the product here, Eric X Light Organic Hemp Wick. And it's 200 feet in a roll here. So this is my backup roll. So what I do with that is any lighter that I use, my mini survival tins that I do, I obviously don't do the full-size Bic lighter like this. I'll do the smaller version. Fits better, obviously. So I'll take this wick, and it's pretty pliable. And like I said, it's covered in beeswax. This stuff's highly flammable. So why I'm doing this on all my lighters is it's tinder. It's easily lightable. So if you're in a rough weather scenario, inclement weather, you pull out your lighter, you have this wick wrapped around your lighter, ready to go to unravel and light. Something to catch a flame in extreme circumstances or weather that lights very easily. So I normally put it'll end up being a couple feet on this lighter itself. So let me show you how we wrap that. All right, so how you want to do this is we're going to make a bite or a loop, and we're going to have it run the length of the lighter. I'm not going to do the entire length of the lighter. Oh, just a quick aside here. This sticker here, good to leave on here. If you needed to later, you could pull it off for tinder. It's also got the sticky gum on the backside that's kind of flammable as well. So why take it off? Just leave it on there. We're going to go right over the top of it though. So I'm just going to make a bite in the end of that wick. And like I said, this has got a nice coat of wax on it. It's kind of, once you get it kind of moving around and warmed up, it really is easy to work with, and it kind of will stick to what you're doing and kind of mold it. So I'm just going to be right below the metal edge there of the housing, right by the working portion of the lighter, the trigger and the striker wheel. And I'm just going to put that bite right there, that loop, and it's even sticking to the lighter because of that wax pretty well. So I'm going to go down to about right here, I guess 3/4 down on the lighter. I'm just going to start to wrap it kind of nice and snug. Now I'm going to work my way back towards the top, and I just kind of knead it up as I go. Kind of wrap it, snug it up, and it sticks, like I said, nice and well there because of the wax. Okay, so I'll just start to loop it, and then I'll kind of tighten it up and dress it up as I go. So you can see here, I'll have quite a bit of available, highly flammable, easily accessible tinder on the lighter, my fire source. And instead of having in a survival situation or under duress, having to find tinder nearby, which I have in all my kits anyway, because we want redundancy, don't we? All right, so I'm kind of just right at that bite. You see I have a little bit left here. Point that out, the tip of that knife right here. I'm gonna have to pull that up a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut just past that. So I don't want to cut that loop, but I just want to kind of open it up. You can use something that's not sharp here. Let me grab, this is a 2-inch safety pin, subdued. I like to use these in my kits, preparedness kits. All right, looks like I got a nice little space there. Hopefully we can get it through now. Used to have a saying in the Army, the military, hope's not a tactic. And there we go. It is through, okay. So now we can pull that through that bite. Just dress it up a little bit. You see I got some excess, that's okay. Now what I can do with that remainder, and I told you I'd tell you later what that was for, keep those bands kind of snugged up. And what I can do now is cinch that from the bottom. You see it just pulls that tight. And I'll just take this, wrap the excess around the base. So I can just pull up on this and loosen that, and then I'll be able to unwind this as needed. So this is a little bit of excess, more than I normally leave. I'll normally just leave a little bit, maybe a 1/2 inch, and then just tuck it in, but why waste it? We're gonna just take it all the way across and just wrap it tight and snug it up. There you go. So we've got a couple feet easy on that full-size Bic lighter of easily available, highly flammable tinder material right at our fire source. So we can pull that off. Where's my little bit of front? There we go. I'd peel this off, say I wanted to use this, and I've got plenty of excess here to do it. I'm gonna light that. Boom. I've got something to retain flame that I can use to light other tinder and or kindling to get my fuel and my main fire going. Burns great, doesn't it? It is a wick designed for this. So that's something at your disposal, right at your fire starter to use in your survival scenario. All right, everyone, thanks for your time. Kind of a fun little deal to do to all your lighters for all your kits. To show you a product that's kind of nice, another option for your kit bag to consider. The Exotac fire sleeve, and it is a rubberized bottom and a plastic top to fit the standard size Bic lighter. When you put your lighter in here, it will float if you were to drop it. It waterproofs it and it protects it from being broken. So that's kind of nice. I still like to do what I showed you already, prepping my lighter. I'll do that same thing, remove that metal shroud here so that the moisture won't build up on the spark wheel. And if it does get wet, you can blow it out or shake it out still. But the cordage option with the beeswax wick, you could hang and braid some off of the bottom attachment point or lashing point here and the top lashing point if you wanted, or wrap it around this if you wanted. This is kind of spendy, you know, almost $18 for this. It's kind of high. So it does come with those 2 lashing points for cordage. But let me go ahead and put the lighter in here. You'll see that there's a open slot here that I'll show you what that does. This, when you put the standard size Bic lighter in here, it is pretty snug. It's very hard to get out of here. This feature here allows you to flip over the gas trigger, the gas button, depress button, and it will hold that down. It's kind of hard to get up over the top, but once you do, it will hold the intent is, and it doesn't stay very easily. So that's kind of the deal. It holds the gas button down and you spark it and it will just hold that for you. That's what it's intended to do. I can't ever really get it to stay on there very easily, but once it's on, it keeps that gas going. So anyway, so it does float, it waterproofs your lighter, it does protect your lighter. So I just wanted to show you that item as well. You see that lid seats on there nice and snug. so that you're aware. All right, that concludes the Exotac fire sleeve.
Well, everyone, thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, give me a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to watch our next upcoming video.